We didn't expect to run into you. Going to make some for free. Paimon would buy it. Of course! We're also here to help. Let's go see the chief!
You're here, Eon-san. And you must be the traveler in Paimon. I've heard a lot about you. I'm sure we'll have a much better time now with your help.
Cold. I'm drowning! And there's something in the water!
He's on the ground, but it almost looks like he's trying to swim.
The abyss. The abyss is coming. There are eyes in my hands, and hands in my stomach. And my stomach is full of teeth. It ate all of you. It's coming for me, too.
But we haven't been eaten. We're right here.
Huh. Monstrous beasts! How did you get in here? As you can see, their mental state is quite poor. They went missing after the battle. We found them in the wilderness in the days that followed, but the damage had already been done. We found them unconscious in areas corrupted by abyssal tumors, lying next to their deceased comrades. My only guess is that something terrible must have happened during the battle. According to the chief of the Masters of the Nightwind, sudden exposure to a large amount of abyssal power can have mental as well as physical repercussions. We've never seen the effects this heightened before, but maybe Gasoithoth was just too powerful.
Gasoithoth? What's that?
It's the abyssal monster that appeared in the sky not too long ago. After consulting our ancient legends, we decided to call it Gasoithoth, Reaper of the Abyss.
Oh, that giant black ball? Didn't we force it to retreat, though?
True, was now. But whatever wound it inflicted on these warriors, there was some mention of a treatment from several...
Right! You can purify abyssal power! It didn't work?
That must mean purifying the abyssal power within them still isn't enough.
So, what can we...
Come back to me, Gogeta! Please, don't leave me like this!
We beat Gasoithoth.
What is it, Aeon-san?
But...
Are you sure about that?
She's busy She was the one who brought Otoko back from the wilderness.
Huh?
My... underwater. Where is it coming?
It's working!
Is someone there? Please save me. No. No, wait. You have to leave this place. The water... No. Duarte.
Oh no, it's no...
My friend. Duarte. Duarte was the name of Otoko's Surian companion. Otoko almost drowned as he dove deep into the water and used all his strength to carry Otoko back to the surface. It was pretty touch and go, but both of them made it in the end. Well, you see, Duarte died 4 years ago during an Abyss invasion. He was helping evacuate injured warriors from the front lines, but fell to an ambush. He was a bit on the smaller side, but other than that, he was just your average Kukasaur. Well, hold on. What are you planning? No problem. Thank you for looking out for him.
We're back! How are you feeling?
Duarte? How did you get here? Are you here to save me?
It's working!
That hurt. Duarte, you have to get out of here. There's... You sense it, don't you? This place is dangerous. Still. Hearing you make that noise reminds me of our first few battles together. You're gonna carry me out of here just like last time. Over a decade later and you're still once we're out of here, we're almost at the surface. People tried to tell me you were dead, you know. No. Duarte? Wait, you're not Duarte. How did I get here? Who are you people?
Otoko!
He's Kaylee. What's going on? All I remember is the battle against the Abyss and then... You went through all that... Thank you.
It's coming for me. It's gonna eat me. It's no use. It'll just come back. Nothing can stop it. Nothing can stop the Abyss. It will devour everyone. One day, we'll all be reunited in the pit of its stomach.
Maybe it's just Paimon, but she seems to be in even worse shape than Atoko. She can talk to us, but...
Ion-san, I heard you cured Atoko? I'm so relieved. Is there anything I can do to help? If you need extra hands, I can... I think you're onto something. The mental distress does seem to be connected to pre-existing fears and anxieties. Kochita doesn't like it when people talk about her past. But the situation is urgent. So, I guess I'll be the bad guy. Ion-san. Then, what about people... When Kochita was little, her parents died. She was only 11. Kochita trained hard to become a warrior, but still found fighting abyss monsters too difficult to handle. She and her brother were left with severe trauma after the incident. Pain and fear that they could not get over no matter what.
But isn't Kochita one of the warriors who fought the Abyss? Didn't you find her unconscious out on the field?
Yes, we did. You see, something changed within her several years ago when the Abyss attacked our tribe and broke into her home. By the time the guards rushed to the scene, they found her standing there, weapon outstretched, hands trembling. Her brother huddling behind her for safety, and the Abyss monster dead at her feet. She didn't even look at it, and just kept repeating the same thing over and over. You're the only family I have left. I won't let anything happen to you. She became a completely different person after that. She earned a reputation as a very capable warrior and fought countless battles against the Abyss. We all thought she overcame the trauma, and we were so happy for her. But now it seems like even if she buried it deep within herself, the fear still never left her.
How can we help her?
Quali?
Quali, what are you doing with that weapon?
Show me the monster that hurt you! I'll make it pay! I'm going to protect you this time!
Calm down, Quali. That monster is already...
I can do it! I don't care what it takes! I just want her to get better. She's the only family I have left.
Family? If Quali goes to battle, the Abyss will devour him. I can't let that happen. I have to do something. But it's useless. No one can beat the Abyss. It's a death sentence. Just like what happened to Mom and Dad. But I'm no warrior. I'm just a coward. Still, I have to protect Quali. What should I do?
Kochita.
Fight it. One more time?
Try checking the mountains to the north. A few fled in that direction. I dispatched a team to clear them out, so most of them should be gone. But there might still be a few stragglers.
There's no turning back. I have to face it, even if it will devour me whole.
I'm coming too! I'm not letting my sister face this alone! Not anymore!
I do love Spina di Rosula's logo. It was designed by my mother. Have you noticed how it's shaped like a heart?
You were the ones who killed them! As a kid, but I can still see the image of them collapsed at my feet that night. The raging fire, the smoke, the smell of blood. They told me to run, and I could see the fear in their eyes. I've been running from my fears ever since. But why did you could do? Because of our family. When you have someone to protect, there's no backing down, no matter what. Stay away from my brother!
Let's help her out! Silver Sendo!
Shine down! Torn to oblivion! Everlasting as the moon!
I can do this. I have to do this.
Where I guess. Feeling lucky? Coming at ya!
There is no escape!
Go away!
Yahoo! Coming at ya! Hey there!
Where are the rest? Where are they hiding? That's impossible! They were gigantic beasts! No. Wait. What am I saying? Abyss monsters are...
She's back to
Kuchita!
What just... That is... I've always envied...
Even though we're both...
Is that... I think I'll rest here for a bit.
I'll keep you company.
Atoko's all better. Yes, really.
I see. So all those rumors about the Traveler really are true.
Kochide's getting better, too! Koichi, give me a hand for a sec. Right. Koichi's not... She's not here anymore.
Yeah, honestly, Paimon was at a complete loss when she saw so many sick people on the hot air balloon platform. We only found a solution this time because you kept your cool and took control of the situation. You deserve most of the credit. Whoa, you're right. That makes a lot of sense. That sounds like something Oh! Well, when you put it down... You're amazing, Ansan.
Ian-san! Bad news! What are you doing, Oko Land? Wake up!
Don't you recognize...
The Abyss monsters are everywhere. They've taken over the tribe. No corner is safe. Did we lose the battle? No. It's pointless to think about that now. Careful! He's not a...
Oh, Kotlan!
So, he thinks we're Abyss monsters? Hey, it's okay! We're not the bad guys!
Come on! Give me your worst! Wretched Abyss! Get out of my tribe! Mom, Dad, we're gone. This is my final battle!
Coming at ya!
Please, son, you've got to stop. You can't keep going like this.
Wretched monsters, give me... Look, Uncle Lan! Get out of my home! I'll never forgive you!
Are you alright, sir?
Please!
But what should we do now? He's different from the other two. It's like he can't hear us at all. He keeps calling us monsters. We're basically enemies to him now.
Oh, Natlan.
Abyssal corrosion 500 years later, and it's resurfaced again.
Huh? That voice!
Direct contact with high concentrations of abyssal power causes the exact present. However, there are also...
The draft of lucidity?
It's a kind of medicine that can dispel the psychological impact of the abyss. The treatment This man is a devoted warrior, one not easily swayed from battle. That is precisely why it's so difficult to pull him out of this hallucination. If you trust me to be true to my word, give him this.
Wretched monsters! Setting up a net? Give me your worst. It's a... Hurry! He's a...
Please, give him the draft. My son thinks he's alone in this world. In his mind, all his family and comrades are gone, and only enemies remain. There's nothing more painful for a warrior than losing everything you fought so hard to protect.
Monsters! What's going on? Dad? My head hurts.
It's all right, my boy. Let's go home. You need a good night's sleep. But first, I want to thank you for saving my son. May I ask your name?
For... just... Capitano is fine.
I owe you more than words can say, Mr. Capitano. My name is Mune. You're welcome in my home anytime. Time to go, son. Can you stand?
Think nothing of it. I agreed to offer you my aid, so this is... Besides...
Right! When we were with Moika, you told us you and your soldiers defended Natlan against the Abyss.
That's right. My desire to protect this nation remains unchanged. When my platoon arrived in Natlan 500 years ago, like you, we were true outlanders. But as time passed, I encountered the people of this land and witnessed their desperate struggle against the Abyss. Though many of the warriors were rash and inexperienced, they were steadfast and fearless in battle, willing to do anything to protect their fellow citizens, oftentimes with complete disregard for their own survival. Just as I fought for the glory of Conria, they fought for the survival of their nation. We happened to share a common enemy, so I decided to offer my aid. We fought side by side to the very end. I traveled to many places after that, but I never forgot this land. Even now. It may seem difficult to understand, but the reason is really quite simple. That name carries with it the glory of my homeland and the honor of Natlan. Yet, I failed to bring my soldiers home. And I failed to help Natlan defeat the Abyss.
But that's not your fault. The Abyss is way stronger than any of us imagined.
You need not comfort me. I am no longer who I once was. Let the events of the past continue to collect dust in the annals of history. I will continue to help Natlan in my own way.
Like, with the draft of lucidity? Who knew you could make medicine? Were you a doctor before?
The drought was Guthred's invention. He was a respected military doctor, as well as my trusted second-in-command. We faced a similar situation to what you witnessed today. The endless battles against the Abyss triggered delusions among the soldiers. to the point where some attempted to kill each other. In order to develop a treatment as fast as possible, Guthred used himself as a test subject. He passed away shortly after the drought was complete. That's who he was. Unrelenting in his pursuits. I'm sure he would be pleased his creation aids people, even now. The Abyss is...
Stop worrying about other people's survival, about their losses and sacrifices. You just need to win. Please finish what you set out to do, Commander.
You're more perceptive than I imagined. However, some things are better kept secret for now. We may be working together, but our goals are not entirely aligned.
What's with the secrets all of a sudden? Paimon's starting to think we should be more careful around you.
I do not mean to jeopardize the trust between us. I simply prefer to keep this to myself, because it's a personal matter. All I can tell you is this. Natlan may have survived the worst of the crisis, but the souls of this land are still not at peace. And that is why my work is not yet done.
Well, if it's personal, then we'll...
If you have other questions...
Wait. Like, Paimon wants to know how you eat with the mask. Anything you want to ask, Traveler?
Natlan must pay the price for Mawika's use of the Ruler of Death's power. That price is death. And only Mawika's death can clear the debt. Even now that the war's over and the threat to Natlan is gone, it looks like that death is still set in stone.
In the garden cultivated by the gods, flowers and weeds grow side by side. When the weeds compete for nutrients in the soil, the garden... I'm not one to pass judgment based on my own standard of right and wrong. But it is an undeniable fact that she is responsible for my suffering, as well as that of my people. If that explanation is too difficult to understand, allow me to show you exactly what I mean. The ruler of death can freely define the form of death, or grant immortality to anyone she desires. Her power is a rule in and of itself. Faced with such an overwhelming level of power, it can feel hopeless to resist. But I am of the belief that, in this world, no destiny is unchangeable, no death inevitable, and no rule unbreakable. So, before the final moment truly arrives, we must fight harder than ever.
Oh, did something happen?
This is a critical time for you, Traveler. Best of luck to you all.
So in the end, the captain still hasn't told us his real goal. He kind of reminds Paimon of someone we met recently. Oh, right, the Lord of the Night! They just seem so tired, you know? Since they've both been alive for... Anish, Kachina, Mualani? Woo! Everyone's here!
Reunited at last.
I brought candy and cookies to share. Of course we missed.
Just in time, traveler.
It's the same temperature outside. Anyway, how was the...
To be honest, I also didn't expect this many people to show up. A third of this amount is more than enough for my... I need to ask them about you. Okay. The progress looks good. We have enough people. So let's get started.
Sorry I'm late.
Chaska showing up late for something? That's a first.
I had to follow a group of monsters further than expected. When I got back, I heard about what you did for my tribe. Thank you.
Okay, let's save the pleasantries for later. Alright, let me remind... Your words will be recorded and become a part of the Traveler's ancient name. Any, questions?
Nope.
Alright, then, to start things off...
Hold on. Remember what we discussed?
Oh, right, I almost forgot. Traveler, Paimon, you, can't be here for this part.
Huh? But why? We want to hear what everyone has to say.
I need people's true thoughts and feelings. It's best if the subject in question isn't involved. It's much more difficult to express those feelings to someone's face. People get shy in those situations. It's just how it is.
You're right. Just like when Paimon doesn't have enough more to pay for her meal, but she's too embarrassed to tell the traveler, so she has to make up some excuse. So basically, you want us to leave the Pilgrim's Chronicle here and wait...
Oh, don't worry.
Everything Shilonen said made sense, but did you see St. Lolly's reaction back there? She was definitely the one who decided we should leave. But staying out here is just making... Anyway, you're gonna have an ancient name soon. You're right! If only Paimon could say a few things about you in there.
Well, looks like you're about to have that chance.
Shilonen, is everything all set?
Almost. We're just missing one last thing. You've been by the Traveler's side the longest, Paimon. We need to hear what you have to say.
But Paimon's not from Natlan.
Oh, it doesn't matter. As a Traveler's companion, your contributions are extremely important. You're the perfect person to finish the story. Sorry, Traveler. I just need to borrow Paimon for a second. It should be quick. Paimon gave us a lot, and I mean a lot of information. I'm not even sure the Lord of the Night managed to get all of it.
Well, we've been to 6 nations already.
Here, you can have the Pilgrim's Chronicle back. I'll need it when I forge the name, but you can continue your adventures in the meantime. And when the time comes, I will forge you an ancient name unlike anything that's come before, so that you, Moika, and Natlan as a whole can finally put an end to this endless war.
In here. Oh, the door opened all by itself. Taking that as a yes. Aw, the Tommy store from earlier. It's really here. Then let's go introduce ourselves. Hello there. Okay. Probably doesn't understand what we're saying. Doesn't look like any cogs are turning in there. Whoops! Sorry! No offense intended!
You there! You dare disrespect our elder? Oh, you mean... Oh, I see. Sorry, my mistake. Apparently you are here by invitation, in which case it's my job to make you feel welcome. Some introductions are in order. I am Koholam, one of the priests of our tribe. And this is our Iktomisor elder.
Whoa!
In truth, we usually go... Ah! Elder Talapa. But one...
What sort of...
If it's all right... Very well. You can use this scroll to go directly to the obsidian altar. Don't worry. One of the routine duties of a priest. We attempt to contact the spirits of our...
Well, the Masters of the Nightwind are definitely living up to their reputation as the mysterious ones.
All right, I've told the chief why we're here, and now...
So, you two are the appointed ones. I am Chief Biram. Welcome, and thank you for your patience.
So tall.
Unusually so. Yes, I am aware, but I assure you, it's no cause for alarm.
Oh, no, of course not. Sorry, Paimon just reacted without thinking.
Throughout our history...
Really?
Allow me to explain. Our tribe has an old tradition of recording history in the form of woven scrolls. And not just our own history. We record the legends and heroic feats of all other tribes as well. It is a tradition we have observed for many centuries. We treat it as a solemn duty. However, when a major event occurs that affects all of Natlan, we record it on a different kind of scroll, used for this exact purpose. And these scrolls can only be woven by someone of the Ictomisaur Elder's choosing. When the Ictomisaur Elder senses a major change in the ley lines, it will issue a formal declaration to appoint a creator for this scroll.
Whoa, so you mean...
Elder Talapo sensed a ley line change quite some time ago, but had not yet designated the scroll weavers until you arrived.
Okay, but just so you're aware, we don't know the first thing about weaving scrolls.
As a matter of fact, that does not surprise me at all.
How come?
In the 200 years that Elder Talapo has held this position, none of the appointed ones have ever been experienced scroll weavers.
Does that mean 200 years of major historical events have gone unrecorded?
No. They all submitted scrolls in time, yet each of them claimed it was not their own work, but a gift from the spirits.
Man, this tribe gets more mysterious by the second.
Yes, well, that is the part that troubles me. The notion that we have to rely on esoteric things like gifts from the spirits to record historical events of such great importance. It is unsettling.
Huh. That's pretty surprising to hear, coming from the chief of this tribe.
I can imagine. You probably see the Masters of the Night Wind as a people shrouded in mystery, who pride ourselves on our arcane practices. But I am something of an exception. I may be the chief, but when it comes to our traditions, I'm in fact a proponent of change and reform. I have dedicated my energies to deciphering the many mysteries of our tribe. In doing so, I hope to establish clearer rules that will help sustain our traditions in the future.
Wow, that sounds great! So have you figured out the mystery of the gift from the spirits?
Sadly not. It is something I've been investigating for a long time, but I have yet to uncover what this gift truly refers to. Only a small handful of events over the years have been recorded on these special scrolls, with decades between each one. And by the time the next scroll weaver is appointed, my time as chief will be long gone. I will not be in a position to investigate as thoroughly.
So...
While I haven't gotten to the bottom of the matter, I have made some progress. But the only way I can Precisely. It's nothing to be worried about. Simply a means of validating my current hypothesis. It shouldn't take you long, nor will it put you in any danger. I can explain everything in detail when we get to the site of the test. But first, please wait a moment while I change out of the soul-shielding cloak. This garb is one of our important cultural relics, handed down by generations of chiefs. It is only to be worn when conducting certain ceremonies.
Oh!
Please, follow me. Do you see this scroll? If you touch it, you will enter a hidden space. Today's test is, quite simply, to find a way to escape that space.
That's it?
I assure you, it's not as easy as it sounds. If you cannot find your own way out, I will of course intervene to bring you back here. But then, we will be no closer to solving this mystery. Good. Simply touch the scroll to begin the test.
Whoa, we really did get teleported. It seems like this place is completely sealed off. Doesn't look like there's an exit anywhere. Let's take a look around and see what we can find. So many woven scrolls here? Paimon remembers seeing some of them before in other tribes. They seem to record historical events. This one really stands out from the rest. For starters, it's the biggest of them all. Wonder what story it tells. Yeah, you're right! Over there, something just flashed. Paimon's with you. like our ticket out of this place. Whew! We finally made it out!
It is just as I thought. You are indeed capable of undertaking this mission. Yes. You saw many distinctive-looking scrolls there, didn't you?
Sure did.
This specific kind of scroll was left to us by our ancestors. Upon investigation, I discovered what sets it apart is the use of a color not featured in ordinary scrolls. It is a most mysterious color that most people cannot even detect. I myself had to employ special techniques to confirm its existence. Yet there are those who are born with a natural ability to perceive it. And that is why I wanted to test you.
You mean...
That space you just entered was an exhibition room for storing this variety of woven scrolls. Centuries ago, a great shaman by the name of Huitzilin put in place a security measure so that anyone who entered the room without permission will become trapped inside. It exists to this day. And although I have not managed to decipher how it works, I have at least found out how to turn it on and off. Once someone is trapped inside, it is all but impossible for them to escape without outside help. Unless they share the great shaman's ability to perceive, Clearly, you must have this ability, which leads me to believe that our Iktomisor Elder can sense this ability in people, and that it appoints a scroll weaver on this basis.
Another secret power? Traveler, you are full of mysteries. Still, having this ability doesn't change the fact that neither of us know where to start with weaving a scroll.
Don't worry about that. The method for weaving this kind of scroll appears to be largely the same as for an ordinary scroll. The main difference is in the dye that gives it its unique color, If my suspicions are correct, this dye is the key to weaving the scroll, and your special ability is the key to obtaining it. The dyeing process is also a little different from the norm, but I don't anticipate any major issues there. As long as you two can source the dye itself, I can assist with the application.
Cool! We'll follow your lead!
Great! Then please use your abilities to source the necessary ingredients. And in the meantime, I will have someone prepare some fabric for test dyeing. We'll make a few sample pieces to test out my hypothesis. And if that goes well, we can begin the scroll in earnest. If you agree to help, you can expect to be handsomely rewarded once this is all over. So, what are your thoughts?
Agreed! Especially if there's a reward in it. What is the reward, by the way? Is it food? Paimon hopes it's food.
Given the stakes involved for our tribe, I was thinking a substantial sum of mora would be appropriate. Surely that would be preferable to just a free meal.
Mora works too! Anyway, how do we go about finding these ingredients? Are we supposed to just keep walking around Natlan until we stumble across them?
Thankfully not. I've already identified. Your guide is waiting just outside. You can set off at your leisure.
I take it you're the ones appointed by Elder Talapo?
Yep, and you are...
Call me Tolten.
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I wasn't expecting. Very well. I'll tell you what I know once more. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Amenoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans was first taught to them personally by the almighty Shogun. Over time, the 5 branches diverged from one another as generations of bladesmiths honed and perfected their craft until they became 5 distinct traditions. Most of the great swordsmith clans of old have since fallen into decline. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha, if my memory's...
Oh, yeah, we were! Paimon remembers that now. We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
That, my friends, is a tragic tale indeed. In fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never the cause. Only recently, when the question was on my mind, did I ask Kaedehara Kazuha about this. He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of the Raiden Gokunen, it was right that I should know the truth. There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn you. It is a dark and sorrowful tale. the Raiden Gokiden were the targets of a murderous rampage by a vengeful bladesmith.
Vengeful? Why?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave swordsmith heard the commotion and chose not to flee, but he rushed to the scene, hoping to prevent a disaster. Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day, and overseeing it was the armory officer. His surname was Niwa, though he had family ties to the Kaedehara clan. Knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, Mr. Niwa and the swordsmith leaped together into the furnace. The furnace quickly stabilized, but neither of them made it out. The smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphaned son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated the almighty Shogun for her apparent indifference towards his father's death, and he hated everyone who had done nothing to try and save him. Powerless and destitute, the only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hatred. Generation after generation bore this grudge, living in utter misery. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, the then head of this family reached the end of his wits. He could bear their fate no longer, and yet he could do nothing to change it. Finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokiden. In doing so, he sought to vent his pent anger and shake the very foundations of Inazuma's forging industry. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan which he belonged to. His goal was absolute, the devastation of all of the Raiden Gokiden. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them unawares. They fought back fiercely, and they did not spare his life. That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day. I suppose they were the lucky ones, under the dire circumstances.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday, in fact. We spoke for a while over some tea. He seemed well. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to visit too, right? Your expression says it all. You can't hide anything from Paimon. On to the next stop. Lead the way, traveler. Paimon will be right behind you. This is the Yashiro Commission's headquarters, so...
Traveler, it's been a while. If you're looking...
Are they out on business?
The commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the commissioner's place. If it's urgent, you're welcome to wait inside until they get back.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else...
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hello, dears. Is there something you want? Of course, traveler. Yes, I know who you are. Miss Kamisato has told me about you. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, As for the commissioner himself, well, you know, busy as ever. That much hasn't changed. Although, he does seem to be in a rather good mood these days.
So pretty much business as usual in the Yashiro Commission, huh?
Very much so.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. In fact, I would love nothing more than for you to come and visit more often. But Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. I must say, many things in Inazuma seem to have taken a turn for the better since you arrived here. I mean it. Whenever the commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins him. I always find myself at my most relaxed when I'm serving the two of them and listening to them. The commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home. But given the opportunity, he always prefers to dine here. They say it's because Toma's a much better chef than most. Oh, the commissioner is so fond of home comforts. They get to talking about you sometimes, too, you know. Always with a very fond tone. The way one would talk about dear old friends around whom one can truly be themselves. Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever the whole family gets together and they start talking about people they've met and experiences they've had, you always... It's been many years now since the late Mr. and Mrs. Kamisato passed away. Much has happened in the Kamisato clan in that time. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter, so in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Yashiro Commission headquarters. There will always be at least one old lady who would be delighted to have the pleasure of your company. Wonderful. Thank you.
Paimon likes it here too! Also, you were saying something about the food here being really great. Paimon's itching to try it.
Of course.
Alright, goodbye for now. Where are we going next? Great! Goodbye, ma'am! Don't worry, we'll see ourselves out.
All right, then. Take care now. Hope to see you soon.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now. Don't worry.
Very well. Safe travels. Goodbye.